Hi, 4th grade. This has been Scotchbada. This is a video for week 6, day 2. All right, so again, our objective is the same as it was yesterday, and our learning target says, I can add and subtract more than 2 fractions. Okay, so for our daily warm-up, again, it's also very similar to yesterday. It says, starting at 0, count by 1s to 10. Okay, then 2 says, count by 1/10 to 10/10, starting at 0/10. All right, so here we go. We have 0/10, 1/10. So next you're going to have 2/10, 3/10, and keep going. Okay, so you should have your blanks labeled from 0/10 to 10/10. So 10/10 is the same as what unit? 10/10 is the same as 1 whole. Okay. So again, we're going to count by 1/10 from 0 to 1. Okay, so this time instead of 10/10, we're going to put 1. So again, it has 0, 1/10, and you're going to keep filling them in. 2/10, 3/10, keep going. And then instead of putting 10/10, we're going to put 1 whole. Okay? So next it says 5/10 is the same as 1 of what unit? So 5/10 is the same as 1/2. So again, we're going to count by tenths, but this time we're going to convert 5/10 into 1/2, and then we're going to do write 10/10 as 1 whole again. So here we go. 0, all right, instead of that 5/10, I'm going to write 1/2 and keep going. And then instead of 10/10, I'm going to write 1 whole. So what other fractions can we rename to make smaller sized units? So I'm going to look for any fractions that I know I can simplify. All right. So I see 2/10. And I know that if I ask myself, what number divides into both 2 and 10? I can say 2 divided by 2 and 10 divided by 2. And when I do that, it's going to give me the simplified fraction of 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So that is my new fraction. Okay, so I could write 2/10 as 1/5. All right, I'm going to keep looking. Next, I see 4/10. Again, I know both of those can be divided by 2. And if I do that, 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 2/5 is my simplified fraction. All right, gonna keep going. Next, I notice 6/10. Again, what can those two numbers be divided by evenly? They can both be divided by 2. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, so I have 3/5. All right. Finally, I see 8/10. I want you to go ahead and think, what can I divide both of these by? Okay. One more time, I can divide them both by 2. 8 divided by 2 is going to give me 4. 10 divided by 2 is going to give me 5. So my simplified fraction is 4/5. So those are the fractions that you could have renamed and simplified. All right. So again, the bottom is just showing you multiple ways that you can solve the problems we're going to do. So So again, it's just showing you that you could add piece by piece and then add a little more, or you can add them all up together and then rename that 6/5 as a mixed number. All right, so we are going to go ahead and go to the let's try. Again, at the top is just a review of what we did yesterday, so I'd rather us just work through them. So the first problem says 2/5 plus 3/5 plus 1/5. All right, so it's going to walk you through it. First, it's saying 2/5 plus 3/5 is going to give you 5/5 right here. So 5/5 plus, how much do we have left? We have this 1/5 left, so I'm going to write a 1 right here, is going to give us 1 and 1/5, right? Because they renamed 1 as 5/5, okay? And then we did 5/5 plus 1/5, which gave us 1 and 1/5, okay? So up here now it just has a number bond. So if we have 2/5 plus 3/5 plus 1/5, if we just added those straight across, right? This is 1/5. Then I know that we're going to get a total of 6/5, or you could have said 1 and 1/5. Okay? And again, just filling this in down here. It's kind of repetitive. 2/5 plus 3/5 plus 1/5. Okay? And again, over here it says, what is another way you could write 1 and 1/5? It's just looking for you to write that fraction greater than 1, so you could write it as 6/5. Okay? So you can go ahead and turn to the next page. This is your problem set. All right, so we have 3/6 plus 1/6 plus 3/6. You can choose how you want to solve this problem. I'm going to solve it straight across. So I'm going to say 3/6 plus 1/6 plus 3/6. All right, and that's going to give me 3 plus 1 is 4, and then plus 3 is going to give me 7/6. All right, I know that this is a fraction greater than 1 because the numerator is greater than the denominator. So I'm going to say, all right, I need to take out the 1 whole. So how many 6ths do I need to make 1 whole? I need 6/6. And if I have 6/6 there, then I know that I have 1/6 left over to get to 7/6. So my answer for this problem is going to be 1 whole and 1/6. Okay. Next we have 5/7 plus 7/7 plus 2/7. All right. So I know that, again, we could do this in a couple different ways. We could say, I'm going to rewrite this as 5/7 plus, I'm going to write this 7/7 as 1 whole plus 2/7. So now that I have the 1 whole, I'm just going to add the 2 fractions together. So this is going to give me 1 whole plus, okay, what is 5/7 plus 2/7? Well, that gives me 7/7, right? Okay. And 7/7 is the same as 1 whole. So now I just have 1 whole plus 1 whole, which gives me a final answer of 2. All right. And then last one, it says 7/8 minus 3/8 minus 1. So I'm just going to subtract straight across. So I'm going to say 7/8 minus 3/8 is going to give me 4/8. All right. And now I have 4/8, and I'm going to subtract the 1/8. So 4/8 minus 1/8 is going to give me 3/8 as my final answer. Okay, pretty simple. Last problem of the day. Bonnie used 2 different strategies to solve 5/10 plus 4/10 plus 3/10. It shows her first strategy over on the left, and then her second strategy on the right. Okay, so her first strategy, she said, okay, here's the original problem. So she added 5/10 plus 4/10, and she got 9/10. And then she added 9/10 plus the 3/10 that was left. But she knew that it was going to give her more than 10/10, so it was going to give her 1 whole. So she went ahead and broke this up. She said, okay, I'm going to break up this 3/10 into 1/10 and 2/10. I'm going to add this 1/10 to the 9/10, which gives me the 10/10 here. And then I have these 2/10 left over. So now if I add 10/10 plus 2/10, that's going to give me 1 whole and 2/10. All right. Her second strategy was, again, she just added them straight across here. She got 12/10, okay? Then she broke out the 1 whole. So she said, I need 10/10 to make 1 whole, and I have 2 left over. So now I have 1 whole plus 2/10, which gives me an answer of 1 and 2/10. At the bottom, you're going to write the strategy you like best and why. There is not a right answer here because you are allowed to like whichever one you like better. I like the second strategy better. So I would write that. You can use the sentence stem. I like Bonnie's. And then you pick blank strategy best because, and then tell me why, using complete sentences and math vocabulary. All right. Again, if you need the anchor charts to help you, you can go to Microsoft Teams, and then you can also click Files, and then it's in the folder called Math Anchor Charts. If you are not on Teams, you can also look on my teacher Instagram, where I shared today some anchor charts that will help you for week 6. So check those out, and then, of course, reach out to me if you still need additional help. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow for day 3. Bye.